Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome back to my yoga time. Today I have a very nurturing practice for you. So it is a flow and we're focusing on the kidney and the bladder meridians. So as I'm sure you're all aware, the kidneys are those crucial filters in the body, constantly flushing the blood of toxins and waste. And the element they're associated to, of course, is that of water. And the season is winter, but of course you can do this flow at any time of the year. It doesn't have to be winter only, but I did want to make mention of that because often in winter we can become a little more introverted, a little stagnant. We don't tend to move the body as much, and we might tend to practice more of those restorative, passive, long yin holds, which are very therapeutic. But as always, our body needs balance, and we do need that fluidity of movement as well. So the mudra that I'll encourage you to take, if comfortable and the opportunity arises to do so, is Buddhi Mudra, one of my favorites, connecting the tip of the thumb to the pinky finger. Your pinky finger relates to the water element and also our free-flowing communication. So the emotions associated with kidney and bladder are that of fear. If we're experiencing any blockages or imbalances around the organs or within the energetic meridian lines, we might start to feel that restlessness and that sense of fear. When we are content and things are flowing freely, then we start to feel a true inner peace, and that's a place where wisdom will obviously shine through. Your bladder meridian is also known as the guardian of peace. So the bladder meridian, just to remind you, runs along the back side of the body. So I'd like you to be mindful of the meridian lines and where they are in the body as we move through the class. Bladder meridian starting in the corner of the eye, moving through the back of the head, two branches down either side of the spine, through the backs of the legs, and finishing in the pinky toe. The kidney meridian begins in the pinky toe, runs up the sole of the foot and through the inner leg, up through the torso, finishing in the tongue. Now there will be a couple of postures where I'll also invite you to massage a acupressure point in the body, and we'll work with kidney 1, only if you can comfortably reach it. If not, it's okay. So the kidney 1 point is on the sole of the foot, and if you flex the foot, it's just in that first divot there just below the ball of the foot. So quite often these pressure points can feel a little bit tender. So as mentioned, if you can't reach the foot in those poses, then you don't need to worry about it. But it's a wonderful point to massage, particularly if we're overthinking, if we're all in our heads with those busy thoughts. It's a great point to just help to calm and center us. So let's begin. We're going to start on all fours, and then if your knees and ankles permit, I'll get you to sit back and do a toe squat for me. Now, if your knees and hips or feet, ankles won't allow you to come into this position, just skip this pose and move ahead to the next one. If you're here, you might need to move those little pinky toes out to the side. And we're only going to be here for a short time just to connect with our breath. And I encourage you to take your Buddhi Mudra. So spine is nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed. Let's place the very tip of the tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. And I encourage you to keep your tongue in this position, if you can, for the entire class. So there's a little space between the top and the bottom teeth, but gently toning through the back of your throat for Ujjayi breath. Can you feel the warming breath roll over the back of the throat? Listening to that meditative sound of your breath. And let's release, coming forward now onto all fours. You might like to give the feet a little bit of a pat. And then from here, coming into your cat-cow stretches, but we're going to reverse the flexion of the spine with the breath. And as we exhale, we're going to practice our lion's breath, where we stick out the tongue, the eyes are wide. So as we inhale, let's round the back, look towards the belly button. Then as you exhale, arching the back, tongue out, eyes wide. Inhale. 2 more. Well done, yogis. Let's round the spine, tuck the toes under, lifting up into your downward facing dog. Only here for a short moment, but you might like to gently walk out the legs as you begin to warm through the backs of the legs, those hamstrings. To bend one knee, drop that hip, straighten the opposite leg. And then we'll walk it all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhaling halfway up, either fingertips on the floor or hands to the knees. And exhale to fold. Let's bend the knees and come to stand up very slowly with a rounded spine. And as you come all the way up, you can inhale arms up and exhale hands to the heart center. So from here, moving into a balance pose, your one-legged chair, transition the weight into the right leg. Let's lift up the left knee. Externally rotate that knee and place the ankle on the right knee and then bend. Take a little seat. So option 1, you'll stay here. Feel as though you're gently sending the left foot a little further to the right. Begin to breathe into the outer hip. And for those yogis with a little more range of motion, we'll take the balance challenge out of it, but move into a forward bend. So keep the legs in this position, just lower the hands down to the floor, or the blocks, of course, if you've got your yoga blocks handy. Breathing into the back side of the body, the outer hip, the bladder meridian. And when you're ready, with control, coming all the way up, let's release that left leg. Keep the knee lifted. Take your right hand to the outer leg and left hand behind you so you're twisting. Create a little bit of resistance here between the knee and the hand. Looking over your shoulder. And back to center, well done. Let's change sides. Right knee lifts. Externally rotate, ankle to knee. A few breaths here before you fold forward if you're moving into that option. Checking the position of your tongue, keeping the jaw relaxed, and folding forward if you did so on the other side. And with control, coming all the way up, lifting up that right knee, moving into your twist. A little bit of resistance between right knee and left hand. And return to the front, well done. Stepping left leg back now, take those feet nice and wide. Have the feet parallel to the short side of the mat if you can. And we'll take the hands behind you, placing your hands on the kidneys. So just in that middle to lower back area, one hand on each side of the spine. About to fold forward here, try and press the feet away from each other. Lift up through the arches of the feet and the quads. Lift up the knees, so you don't want to hyperextend through the backs of the knees. A little bit of core here. We're going to fold forward and stop halfway. Imagine you're balancing a glass of water on your back. Stay strong and active through the legs. Gently pressing the feet away from each other. Arches lifting. Slightly tuck in the chin and move the neck up towards the ceiling just a little. Well done. Inhale to come all the way up. Bring the heels in. Arms up. Exhale. Lower down into your squat. So getting into the kidney meridian here through the inner thighs. You can lower your left elbow down to the knee, reaching overhead with the right. And then we'll change sides. Right elbow to the knee, left arm overhead. And coming all the way up. So turning the feet again parallel to the short side of the mat, hands lower to the kidneys, inhale. And exhale, forward fold all the way down this time. You might like to gently rub the kidneys or just keep the hands still. Again, staying strong and active through those legs. Breathing into the back side of the body. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. And now each time you exhale, take another lion's breath. Out through the mouth, stick out the tongue. Well done. Little bend in the knees. Let's come all the way up. Bring the arms up, heels in, toes out, and let's move down again into our squat. Well done, yogis. Try and open out the knees. You can lower both hands to the knees and then begin to alternate as you drop one shoulder at a time. And let's come all the way back up again, folding forward for the last time, turning the toes in once again, hands to the kidneys, inhale, and exhale to fold. So a few choices here. You can either keep your hands on the back, you can lower them to the floor. If you can comfortably reach your feet, I invite you to take your hands going underneath the arch of the foot, taking the fingers to that kidney 1 point on the ball of the foot. So you can just apply a little bit of pressure there. Just folding down. You might like to take little pulses through the fingers or just maintain that solid pressure. And if you have any concerns with your hips or your knees, you might choose to stay as you are. Otherwise, we'll release those hands now. Begin to bend in your right knee, drop the hips as you straighten your left leg and lower those hands down. You could have one hand in prayer or both hands, or of course you can run those fingers along the floor. When you're ready, let's change sides, strong in the legs. And then wherever you are, even if you're in your forward fold now, we're going to take those hands towards the right foot, transition into a lunge, step back into your downward facing dog. Come forward into plank, rounding out the upper back, tucking the tailbone under, and let's chaturanga all the way down to the mat, uncurling those toes. So from here, let's keep our hands underneath the shoulders, elbows squeezing back towards the feet, tailbone tucking under. As you inhale, lift the upper body, try and draw the hands back. Exhale to lower. Coming up again, this time lift the left leg only. And then look over your shoulder. And then exhale back to center and lower down. Tuck the tailbone. Inhale, lift the chest and the right leg. Squeeze the elbows back. Look over your shoulder. Back to center. And lower down. Other side. Last time, lifting both legs. Exhale to lower. Let's tuck the toes under, lift up to tabletop, moving back into child's pose, but I want you to round the back and then sink back towards the heels. Forehead meeting the mat. Option to rest with the hands next to the feet, taking your Buddhi Mudra, or a little self-massage. You might like to make fists with your hands and gently start to pummel the lower back, the buttocks, Gently over those kidneys. And then resting when you're ready. Lifting up with your next inhalation, and let's bring those legs out in front now. Coming into your seated forward fold. So a couple of choices here. Either taking our traditional head to knee pose, Janu Shasana, sole of the left foot to meet the right thigh, and you can create a little bit of resistance there. If you've got that range of motion through the hips and the knees, you might like to sit on the arch of the left foot instead. So the knee will still be pointing out to the side on that slight 45-degree angle. Let's activate the right foot. Inhale the arms up, and as you exhale, fall forward. So take a hold of the leg. If you can reach the foot, again, you might like to gently press the fingers into that kidney 1 point. Try not to overstrain. If you're pushing too hard, if you're overstretching and overstraining, you won't be able to deepen the breath in the back side of the body. I really want you to focus on breathing into the kidneys. Can you feel your back puff out as you inhale? And let's inhale, rolling up. Coming into a seated twist now. Release that left foot if you're sitting on it. Cross the left leg over the right leg. A little bit of resistance between the outer left ankle and the right leg. Holding onto the knee or hooking the elbow around. Maybe wrapping the arm around the thigh as you twist to your left. Right hand is gently pressing down into the mat and trying to slide away. Gently deepen your twist by deepening the breath. And let's return. Changing sides now, straighten your left leg, bending the right. Option to sit on the sole of the foot. Inhaling, arms up, and folding forward when you're ready. Option to massage that kidney 1 point on the sole of the foot again, if it's available for you. And let's roll up to seated. Moving into your seated twist, so crossing that right leg over the left. Find that little bit of resistance between the ankle and the left leg. Inhale. And exhale to return to the front. Well done, yogis. Coming down now into Shavasana. A moment to allow the body to reset, and where we can assimilate all the positive benefits of our practice. Taking up as much space on the mat as feels good. Finding Buddhi Mudra once again. Tucking the shoulders under. Closing the eyes down. Softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. Taking the next few moments to just be. And let's inhale a little deeper. Feel free to swallow if the mouth is dry. Follow any urges to wiggle toes and fingers, or stretch as though you just woke up. In your own time, rolling to your preferred side. Feel free to take a moment or two there before pushing up to seated whenever you're ready. Thanks for joining me today, yogis. I hope you enjoyed that practice. If there's something that you'd like to work on, please feel free to make class requests in the comments below. The intention of this channel is to help cultivate your home practice. Wishing you a lovely day.